Um, so thank you everybody for coming. We are trying to technically wait for other people to join us. But in any ways, if you want to introduce yourself to the group, you are welcome to do so right now. We have like 2, 3 minutes to do that. I can see my friend Valenti from Mozambique. We were at INPI together for our PhD in those days. And Valenti, thank you for joining the group. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, I can see Yinka, I can see Todd. Todd, welcome, Todd. Good to see you.
Good to
Yeah,
see
yes. Yeah, so if you want to introduce yourself, take the floor. We have 2 more minutes to do that. We're going to start at 35 minutes. Um, in another 2 minutes, we're going to start. So I see people joining us. So if you want to introduce yourself again, please feel free to do so. We have a lot of people that we know. I think they have been in this meeting for a long time, but some other people are also joining us for the first time. So if you want the group to, if you want to know, get to know the group, you can introduce yourself. And the reason why we want people to introduce themselves is when the time comes and we want to deploy the instrument, we already know who we are giving the instrument. So this kind of meeting is for interaction as well. We come and educate, and then we also come to interact. So feel free to take the floor at any time. And when the presentation is going on or it's over, please feel free to ask your questions. Um, Interaction is what is free on this platform, it's very free. So let's get started. We have a very, let me share my screen first of all. Okay, I'll share my whole screen, no problem. And then, yeah, so I'm gonna drag this here. Today we are privileged to have um, one of our own, Dr. Andrew Melesa. He has been with CONGA right from the beginning, so and we appreciate him a lot. He is also one of the first person to volunteer among our member to give a presentation. So that is encouraging. And to that, I want to also welcome other invitation from our members because all the talks that we have been having is mostly from outside. We have these special guests, and then they end up joining the group as well. So if you have an interesting topic and or something that you are doing, an effort, initiative, or innovation that you are working on, just let us know, and you can teach people on this platform. We have students, we have professors, we have researchers that are working on similar projects so we can share our ideas. So today we have Dr. Andrew Melesa, and I'm going to introduce him shortly. But before then, we have some information that I think we need to share. One of them is the new website that we just developed. I posted it on the LinkedIn, and it's a beautiful website. We have a lot of information on this website. So I think I have the link here. Let me see. This is the link. this is the link. If I click on this link, maybe it's not working. I'm going to copy it. Just show us a little bit of it. So this is websites, and you are familiar with all these faces, right? So those are the people that initiated CONGA, and we have ways by which you can also join the initiative. We have our presentations. And if you look at the bottom side, I think I put where we can access all the members. So if you click on this, you will see all the current members. We have about 215 members currently here that are here. But this morning I sent email out, and it was 232 people that I sent email to. So some people are on this group, but they have not completed this form. That is why their name is not on this form. So I have tried to hide some information, which is the email and some things that they put that I feel could be confidential. That is not here. This is just name, which is public information. So please feel free to join us at any time. And let me see. I think I was talking about our websites. Let me see. I'll close or go back here. So that is we also have past presenters. So when a presenter is coming for the next meeting, I will put the information that I have regarding that presentation on this. This is the first page. And when you scroll down, you will see our past presentations in sequence of their presentation. So if you click on the view presentation, you'll be able to listen to any of those presentations. So if you miss any of the presentation in the past, and you feel that you want to listen to it, please feel free to just click on that link. And we have some things about CONGA. Here about CONGA, you will see some of the information that could be helpful about what we are doing here on CONGA. We have the white paper that we wrote in the past. There is another place that is also interesting where you can contact us. If you click here, you can see more of the CONGA activity, what we want this platform to be, what the initiative and the efforts are, and then you can complete the form in order to, if you have anything that you want to contribute, like ideas or way forward, because we need those kind of contributions, right? Way forward, because we still need sponsor for this initiative. So feel free to contact us here, and that will be appreciated. And I think that is all about our website. You feel free to just take a look when you have the time. So I'm not going to take our time, and let me see if I have any other information. So as we know, let me see, I will run through this very quickly. CONGA is where we build network of people, that can work together. That's the primary purpose of this meeting. And in the future, we are able to connect to one another in order to facilitate the moves, the deployment, and all the things that we need to do. So when you are on this platform, please feel free. It's a free media. It's a free platform. Feel free to communicate. And also, we are involved in training and development of our members, and particularly about instrumentation, so that again we can get to speed when the time comes. So people already know how this instrument works. They will see the science that comes out of this instrument. So this is a logical way of advancing very quickly. So that is one of our mission. And also, part of our mission is to ensure that we have accessibility to data. Every scientist, researchers have access to data. This is very important for global research. And that is one of the aims and goals of CONGA, to make data available freely. And because it's for science, it's not for politics, it's for science. And that needs to be global. So that is what we want to achieve on this platform and more, right? So if you have any idea or any way forward, please feel free to suggest. I'm going to put a link on the website as well that you can contribute your suggestions and reviews. And I will show you, we have a review from a student here, which is very encouraging. It shows how this program has been helping him in his master's program. So that is what we want to hear. And more of that are still coming. And I have received many of that kind of message. And maybe one of the days I will have time to put them on our website as well. So without no further ado, I will introduce our speaker for today. Is like I told you, a very good person. It's a pleasure to have him on this platform every time. And Dr. Andrew Mazzella received his BSc in physics from Manchester Institute of Technology, followed by his master's and PhD in physics from Brandeis University. I think that is in Massachusetts as well. His doctoral research centered on stellar dynamics and N-body problems. He began his career at the Air Force Geophysics Laboratory, where he investigated particles, satellites, interaction using data from scatter satellite mission, and developed drag coefficient formulations to improve studies of atmospheric density and winds. He later contributed to infrared measurements of the Sudaika cloud, constructing a model of Sudaika dust distribution based on zip observations. His collaboration with Boston College, he also worked on projects involving rainfall analysis, ionospheric modeling, and zodiac light studies. Dr. Melissa went on to join Northwest Research Associates, where his work focused on ionospheric and plasmaspheric dynamics, including the development and development and deployment of ionospheric measuring systems. In later years, he continued independent research with a sustained emphasis on plasmaspheric physics. And today, our our speaker, is going to talk about total electron content determination for the ionosphere and for the plasmasphere. So I'm going to give the floor to Dr. Melissa, and let me stop sharing so that he can share his. So Dr. Melissa, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Visible?
Yes.
Okay. As an introduction, this is the system that we're dealing with. The Earth, the ionosphere is the small ring. The lobes are a cross-section of the donut-shaped plasmasphere, and the outer red line indicates the altitude of the GPS satellites, although their orbits are actually inclined at only 55 degrees. So they're covered mostly in this region and passing through the plasmasphere. You can probably see that the day side ionosphere has a high density, and the lowest densities in this image actually occur for the nighttime ionosphere, so that the plasmasphere contribution will be significant relative to the ionosphere for the nighttime. It's just an introduction to the data processing. You need two frequencies, at least two frequencies from the GPS satellites to determine the plasmasphere, because the plasma is a medium that has a variable index of refraction with frequency. For the newer GPS satellites, a third frequency has been added. They're all multiples of a single message frequency. In the Rhinex format, the phase data are indicated as L1, L2, and L5. And the code data, which has the absolute TEC determination, P1, P2, and P5. For some receivers, the P1 signal isn't available, so there's an alternative C1 signal, which is coarse acquisition, which has a bit more noise on it. The TEC values are actually obtained from differences between two frequencies, and these are the formulas for them, with the factor K coming from the determination of the plasma index of refraction. It's known from the reference value as the plasma frequency. A lot of these determinations can be performed by packages that are available on the internet. I use the GPS toolkit most recently to do the preliminary processing to get these two code and phase values. This is just a sample of data from one of the Africa sites that will come up again later. The green values are the SR values, which are the code values. They have considerable noise on them, mostly multipath. The smooth blue line indicates the elevation of the satellite, so you can see that the multipath is a bit stronger at the low elevation ends. And the fit line is the phase. You can see that that's much smoother, but it has an inherent cycle ambiguity to it. So it has to be aligned with the code values to obtain the benefits of a smooth signal with an absolute reference. This is the general formula for the alignment. Because you have to use the code data for the alignment of the phase data, you can have some arbitrary offsets remaining from that alignment, because it depends to some extent on where you truncate elevation for the matching.
Is that the video? Hello? Think we lost him. Hello? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you,
Yes,
but I can't
yes, we can
hear.
hear you, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it was
Right.
having issue with the internet or something.
Oh, I think it should reconnect. Let me see. We can reconnect. Let me see. Um, how can we do it? How can we stop this sharing? I think if you go to the meeting on the tab of the, okay, so you can see everybody here, right? And if I go here and see that it's frozen. So while we um, wait for Dr. Mazzella, we can um, talk about something else. Let me see. One second. Mm, look, my slides. Okay, so let me share my screen. So it's, mm, mm. Can everybody see my screen? Right? Oh, we are still.
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. So, um, well, our items here, I wanted to see what we have on the items, besides the the presentation. So the presentation was on total electron content. So I was interested in the contribution of the plasmasphere. I usually think that the plasmasphere has very little contribution, but as Dr. Marcella is presenting, I'm thinking differently because he's showing his first map actually show a reasonable amount of contribution from the plasmasphere. So when we do our analysis of TEC, we usually focus on 350. Some of us, we focus on 250 to 450, and we neglect plasmaspheric contribution. Um, is anybody here that can talk about something relating to the importance of the um, contribution from the plasmasphere while we wait for our presenter, if he can still log in to join us? Because this is a very important um, topic, particularly when there is geomagnetic storm, right? We have geomagnetic storm um, going on, and we only focus on the ionospheric part because it has the largest contribution. What about the plasmaspheric contribution? And that is what I was actually going to discuss with Dr. Malesa, after his presentation. How significant is that contribution from Plasmasphere?
Olu,
Yeah.
hi, this is Romina Nikokar. Maybe good to see you, Olu. In regards to your question, the plasmaspheric contribution is significant during nighttime when F2 you get reduction in TC in the ionospherics, and it could get as much as 50% contribution. During the day, it is of course less and could be up to 10%, 20%.
Oh, I see.
Of the total. Yeah, so it is quite significant, but as you said, in our studies, we usually just ignore it, the plasmaspheric contribution.
Yeah, exactly. So it's significant, but at nighttime, and we do a lot of study during nighttime. I remember plasma bubble, all of those things are during nighttime, right? So why do we neglect those important contributions mostly when we do our studies, you know? Um,
It's just convenient.
it's
Yeah, we do
exactly,
not.
I know. It's a
Yeah.
lot of convenience that yeah, because to design the model, it's to add to that contribution, it's a lot of work, right? And, and particularly, I remember when the modelers do their work, they focus on the ionosphere. And they also sometimes do another kind of model that sees the contribution from the lower atmosphere. But when you ask them, they will tell you that that is a lot of work to actually couple the two together because there are different mechanisms going on right there in the lower atmosphere. So, like you said, it's a lot of work to actually focus on both. I think I have a raised hand. Somebody raised his hand. Please. Um, who was that? Somebody, maybe it was a mistake, right?
Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that we had a study working on data assimilation for Plasmasphere using upward-looking GPS data from cosmic satellite now a decade ago in 2015. So I can share the link if it's of interest to anyone
Yeah,
here.
yeah, of course. Please do. And that is also an open questions, right? So, open question. So, for students who are doing their work in ionospheric TEC kind of, you can think about adding this contribution to your analysis, and people can also use that for their study to be more complete, So let me see if I'm still sharing my screen or no.
You're not sharing right
Oh,
now.
okay. Let me see again. So, let me see. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Rowena.
Sure.
That's the point. Okay. Trying to go back to. So that is mostly what our presenter is going to talk about. He wanted to actually discuss. Let me see if I have his slide. Okay. Mr. Bayo, Adebayo is raising his hand. Please go ahead. Let me try to share my
Okay,
screen.
can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. I guess this is my first time here. So, are you sure you can see me? No, I think but can you hear me?
We cannot see you. We cannot.
Yeah.
I think you have your video turned on, but we cannot
Yes.
see you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
We can hear you perfectly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, I was also very expectant of this meeting to know how they use TEC to derive to get the TEC for the plasmasphere. So my question would be, I will try to go through the paper that was just shared now by the Romina to see, because I don't know if we will have to extend the contribution of the ionosphere to get out of the plasmasphere. Or, I would really love to know how, that is being done to get because I know the contribution for plasmasphere is also, it's like it's like the same situation with the lower atmosphere, like you mentioned. So yeah.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is extend the region that we focus on, and
Mm.
that may take a lot of processing time as well. So it
That means
depends.
we have to accept the contribution of the ionosphere, right?
Right. We extend it because right now we focus on a thin layer
Uh,
between 250 and 400 or 350 sometimes. We believe that
uh,
that is the highest contribution, but
uh,
that is effective during daytime. Like Rowena said, we cannot assume that at nighttime because there are a lot of contribution coming from the plasmasphere as well during
uh,
nighttime. And most of our studies we do on nighttime, particularly when you are
yeah.
studying plasma bubbles and
Uh,
those things,
Regularity.
irregularities. So that is one challenge, and that's why I like this presentation from Dr.
Yeah,
Melissa, you
I
know.
hope he's able to make it back. I'm really hoping so.
Yeah, yeah. He was going to tell us about this in a detailed manner. So,
Mhm,
um, yeah, so that is the big thing that the community still need to look into. Uh,
mhm. All right, thanks.
yeah, and good to see you here, Mr. Bai.
Yeah, I'm working on my video. Right, let's see.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we are here every month, and you will. Do I have the email? Your email?
Yes, yes, I just registered. I guess I missed the last one, so this one I had to put it on my reminder to be sure I didn't miss
Oh,
it.
okay. Okay. Sounds
So
good.
I think I'm registered already.
Okay. So yeah. And any other contributions from the house about this? I think a lot of people work on TEC, right? How do you what do you think about your TEC? What do you think? Are you doing a good job, or um you think there is a room for improvement given this topic? What do you think? Let me see. Let me see. I think I'm the only TEC guy here. Um,
I'm also using TEC for my PhD study, so mostly.
oh, okay, excellent. Who again? I see here. I think
Okay, I guess once.
some people use TEC, right? But they don't really want to. They don't really go deep into the analysis.
Okay, background processing stuffs.
Yes, so that is something because that is not their focus. The focus is different. Um,
Mhm.
Dr. Jimo, you want to say something? Yeah, please go ahead. I think I see your hand raised.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
Good evening, or wherever you are from. Well, what from the my use of CEC, I think from what I've done thus far, we normally, for me, the work that I've done and the instrument that we use to convert the text, I think in that the contribution of Plasmasphere from that. Because I use the effect action as from the number of, and I've also done some work with plasmaspheric, or yes, contribution of the TEC. So for me, that has always been. And I think due it is just mainly because looking at that work at that point in time, that has to be considered because of the distance of the satellite compared to the ground-based instruments like monitoring or capturing data. So for me, that is always in consideration. So I've not done much of work on irregularities. So I wouldn't say about the nighttime contribution and stuff like that. But for me, from the research, my normal that's right.
Right. So the contribution could also vary from equatorial region to mid-latitude. And in the mid-latitude, you want to see more of my plasmasphere. In the equatorial region, because of the high density, you might not bother too much and things like that. But in the middle to high latitude, you want to also look at this contribution, particularly during nighttime. Yeah, so I think we have lost our presenter for today, which is so strange. So in order to not waste our time, I will if there is no contribution from the house again, because we had some contributions coming up, I will just try to end the meeting. I'm very sorry about the situation. It's complicated. I don't know. Technology is good and sometimes they fail. That is what happened here. Technicality of that is what happened. So I want to.
So
So
I have a question.
go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going through this the paper that was shared by Romina. I guess it's even the lead author. So so I would like to ask. I'm pretty sure she knows more about this method of using a TEC or so for the plasmasphere study. So I would like to ask her what she thinks about the advantage of using the TEC over the satellite data. So as we know that TEC, I mean, like receiver kind of is more continuous, so we can get more information using the GNSS receiver on a continuous basis when compared to satellite, probably because of the speed or whatsoever. So yeah, I would like to know if you can give a few uh, knowledge on this paper so that they published in 2015.
Okay, so let me make sure that I understand your question correctly. So are you asking about the advantage of using satellite-based TEC versus ground-based, or?
Yeah, yes. Like this, I've not read the paper, but I guess it's on. I'm not sure. Is yeah, use GPS. So I would like to know if you can just give a very explanation of probably what you guys did and how you use the tech for this assimilation.
Oh, okay. So these are the outward-looking GPS data. So it basically means that you can have for a GPS satellite on a GPS receiver on a satellite, you can have
Yes.
radio occultation measurements that you can measure the limb profile of the electron density in the ionosphere, or you could just look at the direct line of sight between the GPS transmitting satellites and your LEO satellite. So basically, because TEC is an integrated quantity, you will get the total electron content between the satellite at altitude, whatever the altitude is, 800, for example, if it was for cosmic. So you'll get from that to the 4RE or 20,000 kilometer that the is altitude of the GPS satellite. So you do not receive any contribution from the ionosphere part from F2 peak. So that is how you can basically isolate the top side contribution from the bottom side ionosphere. That makes, most contribution to the total electron content. So in that sense, it's nice because you remove that ionospheric part and you just focus on the top ionosphere and plasmaspheric component. And that is what we used. So Cosmic had, 6 satellite in LEO. So we use that data in order to get an estimation for the plasmasphere and topside ionosphere. Of course, 6 satellite, it might not be, it's not enough in the LEO. It's not the optimal configuration, observational geometry that you will get for that. But this is what we had at the time, and it was 10 years ago. But since a decade ago, there have been a larger number of the LEO satellites, that we have, and like all of them have dual frequency. All you need is a dual frequency GNSS receiver, basically. And based on that, then it would be much easier. You'll get much more line of sights for TEC, and you can do some sort of, reconstruction of electron density, or you could use, a data assimilation schemes in order to do that.
Okay, great. So does that mean that we can, like Swarm satellite, they have onboard the GPS receivers? So does that mean that we can, I will try to read this paper. So does that mean that we can use, because of course, if you consider the A and C, at about 460 kilometer YDB, so that's around 530 kilometers. So which means they are upward looking. So does that mean we can, have you guys tried to see trying to use some satellite data to do this kind of assimilation stamps?
Yeah, so if it is dual frequency where you can get the total electron content, and these are basically from the precise orbit determination data that you will get those type of TC. If you can have that, yes, definitely you can use that information in a data assimilation schemes. I'm not sure if, the swarm satellites, with only 3 satellites, with 2 of them being, relatively close together, if they could give you, because you will need, for a global estimation, you will need, a global coverage. But, whatever coverage that gives you, you can use in order to get some sort of the estimate for the top side ionosphere and plasmasphere,
So
basically.
the orbit, like the swarm is polar orbit, so from north to south, does that also affect the how you do the assimilation or the how you do the yes, assimilation of the data?
Yeah, so you have to see that. I suggest that you look at the total electron values to see what you get, because if it is top side and if it is in the polar, if it doesn't have any equatorial looking angle, then probably you will not get that much contribution from the plasmasphere anyways, because in the polar, as we saw earlier in the slides, that you will not get that much of plasmasphere in those regions. So you have to be careful. I suggest looking at the data first before trying to reconstruct the density, just to see what sort of data and values and errors you're dealing with.
Okay, thank you so much. I will go through this paper and see.
Yeah, so I write my email contact here in the chat in case you would like to talk to me offline. I will be happy to.
Okay, great. I'm gonna get that. Thanks.
And how do you deal with the time temporal problem with satellite and GNSS in terms of assimilation into,
Very good question. Because Swam is super fast, like from so.
Right. So I think we have put Romina into the spot too much.
Thanks. So.
I didn't expect it. It was a nice surprise.
All right. Thank you very much for saving the day anyway. Yeah. I sent a quick email to our friend. I think we have a question. from Dr. Bruno. Dr. Bruno, do you want to come up to ask a question? Where are you? Bruno, we have Bruno Nava? No, I think it's Bruno
Yeah, I'm always good.
Yamusere. Yeah. Oh, you are a student. It's okay. Come up, no problem. Just ask a question.
Oh, yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yeah.
Am I loud?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh, just a question to Dr. Romina about the LEO satellites. When you look at the orbital periods, it's quite shorter. Does that impact the TC that you compute on a daily, or you have to look at TC per orbital period? Then the second question is, if we are looking at a ground-based GNSS-TC, we try to look at cycle sleeps, we look at the data gaps, we look at the multipath, like the key errors that will really affect the TC computation. For the LEO TC, what are the key errors that you look at or one has to really focus on? Thank you very much.
Okay, great questions. So in terms of the orbital period, so what do we need to typically do in order to use total electron content from satellite orbits is that for plasmaspheric studies is that plasmasphere doesn't change as quickly as the ionosphere. So the time scales are longer. So you could look into, 30-minute, time every time. So you accumulate the total electron content that you get for different, different positions of the LEO satellites, and you consider all that chunk of 30 minutes of data in order to do any inversions or anything that you want. In terms of the errors, Dr. Mazzella was showing some examples of the total electron content that you get from the phase versus the code receivers, and all the errors that you might get in terms of code variations are much higher than noise than phase. When you get TC from the phase is typically smoother, but then it's not absolute. So you use code, and all sort of the errors that you get on the code, it might affect your total electron values. So any sort of errors in clocking, typical errors that you might expect from a GPS signal or GNSS signal, you would expect it also on this one. But I think for when you look at TEC from LEO, the main source of error for us is basically just disregarding the plasmasphere, which could be much greater than any of the error terms that we typically have in a total electron content. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think so. And also, Dr. Rowena, I think we should invite you to one of our meetings to actually lecture us on this aspect, because I remember you were working on this LEO satellites and trying to incorporate some things. Maybe we met on the Beacon Satellite Symposium at that time. I couldn't remember clearly anymore, but it would be good to have you in one
Thank you. That was on a totally different topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be happy to contribute. But this plasmasphere work that I did, it was some time ago. I hope that I'm able to come back to it, but it all depends on
No,
funding situations and things like that, as
I
you all
know.
know.
Yeah. Okay. So are you going to be at the AGU?
I plan to,
Yeah.
but again, who knows?
Who knows?
Everything is so uncertain that
Dramatic. Yeah.
nobody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I plan to. I have I have a number of things that I'm already committed. So I hope I can.
Right. Yeah, so we can talk more on this at the end.
Absolutely.
I will surely be there. I already booked my flights and all these things, so I will be there.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
nice to see you. So,
Looking forward to seeing you there.
right. Thank you. So, any other clarifications? I think this is even wonderful, right? I enjoy this.
It was very interactive, you know.
And this is what the purpose of this meeting is, where we come and interact. People that are very vast in the field, we also put us through some areas. So I want to thank everybody. Let me see if I have something else on my let me see on my PowerPoint here. So yeah, I think we have outspent our time for the presentation as well. We only have 8 more minutes, and those 8 minutes were usually for questions. And we have been discussing all along on the topic of the day, and that is so wonderful because that is the topic of today. And if anything that Dr. Marcella will have shared with us, we have also learned something else. So I'm very grateful for that, and also thankful to Dr. Rowena here, and for everybody who has joined us today. I'm very sorry about what happened. I think it's the internet issue. You know, sometimes the internet just go away and probably couldn't reconnect. So hopefully we can schedule this talk for another day where Dr. Marcella will be able to join us and give us his talk. However, today we're going to call it a day. Um, and I want to also let us know that we have another talk next month, which is our last month of the year here, because in the US we have Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is usually overlapping with CONGA meeting, which is the last Wednesday of the month. And then on December, we also have Christmas. Christmas is also overlapping with our meeting. So our next meeting is going to be in January, and I will let us know through email. We have I have the emails of our members, so I will email you when the time for the meeting is going to be in January or at most in February, because in January, a lot of people are still moving around and things like that. So we normally start in January or February for that reason. And next month, we are going to have people from Kenya's space, what do you call it? Agency. Kenya Space Agency. This is a recent agency, newly developed agency, and they are coming up with so many ideas, and they want to showcase what they are doing as well. So I'm going to put all of the things together and email it to us at some point during the next month, and let me see, that is it for the announcement. So that is it that we have, or all that we have for today. Again, I'm sorry for the technical issues that we have, and I thank everybody for staying around at least to enjoy the discussion.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you, Udo.
yeah, thank you. So
Thanks.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. See you next time.
All right, see you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye,
Thank you.
Shegun. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.